Do you think that sounds like a helicopter? I'm working on my helicopter sounds. I don't know if that's probably not productive. I don't. Hey, is this a bad time? Am I? You made it. I'm so glad. Thank you for stopping by. Again, are you back? Have you returned? Is this your return? Or is it your first time? This is the second episode. I'm so excited. The second episode of The Hole in the Pen Cap. The Hole in Pen Cap. I don't know. I'm so excited. It's going to be, I think we're going to be doing Thursday uploads. That's how I'm feeling right now. I think Thursday's a good day. Right now it's Monday. Recording Monday. Love Mondays. Great day of the week. Kind of exciting beginning of the week, right? You know, we're getting into it. I do have a co-host today. It's a electrolyte drink. I stopped at a 7-Eleven. I could not find vitamin water. So I got an electrolyte drink. I believe that is electrolyte without the E. Electrolyte. Oh. That's cool. It's kind of hip. That's so electrolyte, dude. Yeah, I think that might be I like drinks that have all of these advertisements, you know, like you lie to me on your drink. I don't mind it. I like the placebo effect. Ooh. I like the placebo, you know, tell me there's electrolytes. Tell me there's what else? Vitamins. I think that's probably the whole origin of the vitamin water is, oh, I can drink my vitamins? Yes, I want to do that. You know, I don't mind it. Like I like the expensive waters, and I really don't have enough money to be doing that. But I like the expensive waters because they make me feel good, I guess. They make me, you know, like your Essentias, your Core is fun. It comes in that little tube thing. I know that's a bad use. I know that's a bad use of money. I know that. But, you know, we kind of compensate in other areas, right? Like I drink fancy water, but I don't have a bed frame. So that's, you know, maybe that's where we switch, right? Or, hey, I like, you know, granola bars, but I don't eat carrots. Not a huge carrot fan, really. I like the top, like carrot top's fun, but not the vegetable. I'll eat it, you know, depends what they're in. But yeah, no, I like a good placebo effect. You know what? Because everything's how you perceive it, right? Everything's how you look at it. So if you know, if it's not really there, but I feel good, maybe that's a bad philosophy to have on life. I don't know. It's hard to say, but it's been a good week, guys. It was this weekend, I had my first headlining show. I'm going to call it, it's my first, like most comics, I've done 30 minutes as the last comic in a bar before. Yes, I've done that to kind of upset onlookers. I've done that, you know, gone up. But I would say this is my first time headlining for people that knew I was the headliner and wanted to come, or I imagine they wanted to come. I hope they weren't forced. But yeah, no, that was my first time doing that. And that was so fun. I, you know, was a little nervous about the amount of time, but I think it went well. And it got me really excited, I think, to kind of start doing that more, you know, because I'm somebody that I think does hold myself back to an extent of like, oh, you're not ready, Ryer. You're not ready. Don't. I've had that. I've had imposter syndrome at pretty much every job I've ever had. Do you know what it's like to think you don't belong at McDonald's? Like as being less. I had imposter syndrome at McDonald's. It was crazy. It's an insane. There were felons that worked there. I think. I don't know if felons. They seemed like. I mean, it's insane to be like, oh, I don't think I belong here. And then there's somebody that like a 15-year-old is like, you're all right. No, we like you. They're trying to, that's crazy. I've had that, working with kids, being like, oh, I shouldn't be teaching these kids. I don't know enough. But that's why I always went with like preschool or like little kids. 'Cause God, hopefully I know enough for that. I don't know. I love teaching. I love teaching preschool, and they called it teaching, but it was, I remember like referring to myself as like a daycare worker one time, and my boss being like, hey, we don't do that here. You're a teacher. You teach. Yeah, I make like $12.50 an hour. Or I think it was $13.50 at the time. But to be a teacher, and I mean, that's what teaching is. You get severely underpaid, but you do a lot of work. That's what I've realized, like going into my other jobs now. Like right now, I'm a door guy. Door. Door? Am I a door? God, I've always wanted to be a door. Squeak. Yeah, put oil on me. You think that's how doors have set? Yeah, I don't know. I imagine they probably use oil for their interactions. Yeah, I don't know if two doors could kind of close on each other. But maybe that's because why can't objects have relationships with each other? I mean, besides the obvious reasons of they're probably not conscious. No, but I'm a door guy right now, which I love. I love doing that. It's very fun. I'm not good at it at all. And I feel bad about that. I'm trying very hard. But I'm not good with really any job that takes reasoning. Or where you have to make a choice. Right? I like a good monotonous task, a good tedious venture. Putting something into something over and over and over again. I'll do that. Have me I don't know. That's why I liked the fries at McDonald's so much, because you could just, you pour it, put it in the oil, right? Press the button. You do it with another one in the other oil. You press the other button. Beep. It's so fun. It was really fun. Fries are pretty much always like your first thing you do at McDonald's. I kept asking to go back. Really to the point of like kind of somewhat intentionally doing bad at the other jobs so that they would just kind of angrily have me do the fries. You fell into my trap. I mean, it's like art, kind of, it's like art. But yeah, I'm bad at, it's hard for me, I think sometimes to know what other people want me to do. Like that's just like with being a door guy, you've got to know who's kind of allowed to come in, for free. Because some people are like, if you're a comic around town, usually, but some people you're not. And I'm just really bad at deciphering who can and cannot come in. I there's two types of door guys, right? There's the ones that kick out the rowdy audience members, and then there's the ones that let them in. That's me. Right? One time I let in it was like this bachelorette party of like drunk women that had just gotten off a pedal truck. There's like everybody's pedaling and it looks kind of like a bus a little bit. And there's music playing and everybody's drinking. They were day drinking and they got off. And I was like, hey, we've got a comedy show, or I think it was music. We've got live music playing inside. You want to come in? You want to, like, I was encouraging them to come in. And then they went in. Eventually first they were like, is there a bathroom in there? And I said, yeah, there's a bathroom. Crazy. Yeah, there's a bathroom. And then they're so drunk. I was like, okay, well, you can go. And then they brought, I did not know this, but apparently they had a giant bag full of alcohol that they brought in there, sat down and started drinking their own alcohol, which is definitely not okay for a bar. You don't get to bring in your own alcohol and just kind of sit for free and use the facilities. Facilities is a funny word for bathroom too. Facilitate. I guess they facilitate. They get you kind of doing what you got to do. But yeah, no, I've done that. I've, let people into spaces where they're not allowed to go into, thinking that, they walked in with this person, so it's fine. They're like, Ryer, do you know who that is? Friend? I'm not good at, it's hard. It's hard to know kind of what you're supposed to do. It's a similar thing with like, I worked in special ed for a while. I was a life skills teacher's aide. We were called paraprofessionals, which is, I think is just maybe to make you feel better. I don't know. But yeah, teacher's aide, para, it's kind of just, in my experience, you kind of do the job of a teacher and just you pay them money to do it. Not really, but it felt like that. You make very little money. It's not great. But I loved it because I loved the kids. The kids are so great. But I guess making those connections of like, oh, is this what I'm supposed to do? Because everybody, I feel like, always knows what to do in life, in every scenario. I don't know. I don't just know what to do, Honestly, I think I'm doing it wrong. Life, that is, right? Like as if everybody else, maybe we're all making like origami camels, right? Just as a fun group activity, we're making origami camels. And, going through the steps on step 15, God, would there be that many? That's a lot of steps. But let's say on like step 15, I get lost, something goes wrong. And then everybody finishes. You guys hold up your camels, and I have like a pregnant horse because I messed up on the steps, so the hump is on the other side, so it looks like a pregnant horse. And that's not right. Is that right? Is it okay to have a pregnant horse? I guess. I mean, there are pregnant horses, right? And you can lead a pregnant horse to water, but you cannot make it get an abortion. You cannot, especially not in Texas. Also, its body, its choice, right? We would think that. I don't know if they're coherent. I don't know if they're able to make that choice, actually. I don't think they would have an understanding of what an abortion is as a horse. Probably not, right? Maybe. I know they pretty smart animals. Pretty smart animals. Hmm. But yeah, no, sometimes I just feel like I'm not connecting with, like, everybody else kind of understands things that I just don't know, like what's going on. And I think that's what's hard with work, right? Is like you're expected to be doing things and, they just think that you know what's right and what's wrong. It's like, I don't know how to do this. Awkward. I know you've shown me 24 times. People get so mad when you ask them to show you something again. Or at least for me. Maybe I don't know. Because I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be like annoying. I had that in wrestling too. Like I would ask, I remember asking my wrestling coach, I was like, hey, I don't think we were doing like weights or something. And I was like, hey, can you show me how to do it? Like, I don't think I'm doing this right. And he was just like, something to the extent of like, yeah, I don't like when people don't listen to me. I was, which is maybe worse, right? To be listening and to still not get it. It's like, no, I'm just dumb. I'm just a dumbass. Everybody point at me and say dumbass. Is that what I want? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just feel bad. But I have this whole thing too of like being terrified that everybody thinks I'm retarded. One of the impacted. That I'm retarded. I'm worried that everybody thinks that. I've always had that fear since I was a kid. I've been terrified that I, am special needs. I've been told there's a Jim Carrey movie that's similar to this. I think they said Jim. I don't remember what it's called, but this is not that. This is a genuine. I've always been terrified that I am retarded, and everybody around me knows it, and it's being paid to pretend I'm not. Right? What a vain fear for everybody to be paid. I mean, who's dishing out that much money? That's insane. And also, I'm clearly onto it, right? I'm clearly aware of this. So they're not doing a great job. Why wouldn't they just drop it at I guess I just worry that everybody knows something I don't know. Like I'm in the middle of a snow globe and they're shaking it and I'm falling and everybody's watching me and I'm just in this freak snow globe. Everybody's like shaking the crazy person. I remember, those videos where it's always like, it's like a kid with Down syndrome that's in I feel like it's always wrestling or football and the other team or the other kid lets them win. Right. And then, there's like interviews and it's, Steven was always in there talking about the kid that let the guy win. Like, Steven's always had a huge heart and he just wants other people, to feel like him. And then the other kid is like, yeah, I love to win, but I could tell he needed this. Or like something weird like that. I don't know. Like, it's just weird. Anytime it's public like that is odd. Like you're putting it on the news. It's so weird. That's so like kind of egotistical. I don't know. I'm sure we all do things like that. But I do remember the first time I saw one of those videos of like a kid with Down syndrome winning a wrestling match. And just in my mind, I had this thought of like, oh my God, that's what this is. No. No. Just kind of believing that, which is crazy, but it's also, I don't know if it's that crazy I think it's low self-esteem, like, some people are so confident, I think there's people in the middle, there's people that are very low, not steaming their, not eating that self-esteemed rice. Is that weird? And then there's people that are extremely confident, and it's scary almost, because it's like you almost don't know if they're living in reality. You know, where did you set up your tent? Are you on Earth? Because it's scary. Some people come in to a room and it's just like this feeling of like, I don't know, you feel like you own it. It's a scary thing. I've never understood, undeserved confidence is crazy, because honestly, even deserved confidence is kind of odd, I think, sometimes, because how do you know that you're doing it right? You know, what if you stop being good at something and then you just have to keep that level of confidence, right? I mean, wouldn't you then, because how do you know, maybe you don't know that you've stopped being good at it and you're just still really confident, and you're just kind of crazy, you know? It's scary. Well, it's, some people come into a room and they'll, maybe they'll be like, oh, I've got this. I've got this. What? How do you know? There should always be the potential of you not getting it, not having it. I don't got it. I mean, I have spent a lot of time in childcare. I was a nanny. I once lost a child. Not for a long time. It was not a long time. It was a short period. It was probably like maybe 40 minutes. I know that's a long time, but let me tell you what. I was at we went to a Halloween party. Little boy, he was like 4, I think. He had his siblings, 3 kids. He was wearing a Spider-Man costume. And he was not the only Spider-Man. I believe it was either Spider-Man or it was something of that nature. It was like some superhero that's very common. I don't remember which one, and so he steps away, or he has his bike, and at some point he decides he just doesn't want to be there anymore. And I'm with the other kids, and there's another Spider-Man running around that I assume is my Spider-Man. It was bad. It was bad. They found it. He was really, really smart. He like rode home, or mostly home. And I mean, it's not good, but I don't got it. You know, one time I accidentally taught a group of 3-year-olds. It was like 15 or 16 3-year-olds that bananas are orange. Oopsie. No, that's not great. It's not great. But I didn't think it was a big deal. We ran out of, we were painting, because preschoolers it's insane. Their love for paint is crazy. I often used it as kind of like a bribing, leverage thing. All right, if everybody puts their shoes back on, we can paint. Then there's always the one kid that won't put their shoes on. And, you have to chase them around the room. 3 is a very difficult age. 3 is really hard. But yeah, they are really highly motivated by like sensory things. And so one time we were painting fruits. I was teaching them like the different colors of the fruits. And we did like pears and, grapes. And then we got to banana, and I didn't have yellow paint. Because we just ran out of it. So I used orange, and I said, hey guys, bananas are yellow. Everybody say yellow, and then yellow. But we don't have any paint, and so we're going to use orange, which is a lot of information to give. I mean, that's crazy that I was trying to, right, everybody, here's a contract. I mean, it was I was explaining it's insane. I should have just left the banana out, because then there were several of them for the rest of the time I worked there were convinced that they were orange. And it took months to undo. I had parents question it. I had parents call me or like come in the next day and be like, "Hey, did you say that bananas are orange?" Which is, it's kind of odd to question that because do you think I think they are? Wouldn't that be crazy if yeah, what do you mean? I'm just, I'm holding up a camouflage pear or like a turquoise lemon. I thought isn't this real? It's crazy the amount of power you have when you teach preschool because you could totally kind of really confuse kids. I mean, I would never do that, but you could be like, oh, flamingos are green. I mean, there's a couple pink ones, but they've been painted or like something crazy. I would never do that, but what's going on with flamingos, by the way? Has anybody told them we're not impressed anymore? Hey, what can you can stand on one foot? Oh, that's fine. Hey, you know what you can't do? Anything else. Since can they fly? I don't think they can even fly. I mean, if they can, that's terrifying. They're huge. They're giant birds. I mean, if I looked up and I saw a flamingo flying over, I mean, it would be like a shadow. Be like, oh, I guess today I die. Well, that sucks. Right? I mean, it's an odd bird. What do they do? They just stand, they kind of, they peck, do they peck? I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah, flamingos are kind of funny birds for sure. I went to Salvation Army. That's where I got this polo. A little bit ago, I went to Salvation Army. And that's an interesting store to go to. It's probably one of the only retailers that I've ever been to that I had the feeling that I could just kind of take everything I wanted up to the cashier and be like, hey, can I just take this? Like for free? Can I just have this? And they would maybe say yes. Like depending on the mood, they would maybe, yeah, fuck it. I don't give a shit. I had that, and it's not, they're great at play, but it does have the feeling of like, oh, you're just kind of going through like your friend's closet is what it felt like. But I do love going there. They have great stuff. You just have to look for it. There's also a lot of things there that feel like kind of like stolen valor. Like you shouldn't be able to purchase just as like any, like you shouldn't be able to give them to just like anybody. Is that weird? Like there was like an army uniform. There was a BLM shirt, which is, no, that's not, I mean, I think anybody could wear that, but it is also, it's strange. I don't know. It felt strange to be like, oh, just because it was in pretty much a white neighborhood too. So it was odd. I don't know. It's fine. But it felt weird. And well, also other things of like, oh, like my kid's in the honor roll at blah, blah elementary. Yeah. Or it was just, very specific, some like lots of different clubs and, shirts that people had clearly like done things to get, like marathons or it's kind of fun. I mean, you could really build a new life there. You really could. You could, get, it's easy to kind of pretend to be anything when you have a shirt that says that. Like I swear to God, there was a wheelchair basketball one. Like you could, I mean, I don't know, because shirts do say things. So if you have a shirt that's like, like I'm Vietnam or something about, I don't know, maybe it says something about being a vet or a veteran or something. I don't know. Shirts, yeah, shirts are saying too much nowadays. They're being a little too vocal. But no, I got some polo. I love a good polo. Catch a one, catch somebody in the little pocket, I don't have a pocket on me today, but I do love a good polo. And the Salvation Army is, if those are our troops, boy, are we in a bad situation. When I got there, there was like, I think a truck had like opened the truck, one of the donation trucks. Maybe stuff had shifted while they were driving. And then when they opened it, a bunch of stuff came out, like toys and clothes and books everywhere, like all over the front of the store. And there was a guy out. It was like this older gentleman, this older guy who had like a really bad limp, like really bad, like probably needed more than just a cane, but he had a cane. And in his other hand, he had a broom. He was just like very slowly shuffling and sweeping things into a pile. And then it was windy, so things would blow away. And then he would go back and he would sweep it. Why did they choose that guy? Why did we put him on the task? That's crazy. I mean, he's like limping through he's clearly not okay. You're giving him the very physical task. And then when I went to the cashier, there was this older woman who had like a pretty deep Southern accent. She was sweet. And she was like, as she was scanning my clothes, well, before she scanned my clothes, she said, "So, honey, you got anybody over 55 with you today?" No, just me. Said, "Oh, dang, that's too bad. You would have gotten 60% off." What? I think that's too much. No, that's not too much. But it's also like I could have told her I had somebody with, because I don't think she would have checked. It didn't seem like that. I could have said that I had a van full of geriatric, maybe I work for a nursing home. I don't know. See, I'm going more than just one. I'm taking it to the, I have 14. Joe Biden's with me. Joe Biden is in my car. Does he count? I don't know. Yes. Yeah, he would count. Yeah, I wonder about the race is coming up. The political race. Somebody wave a flag because we're off. I really don't know much about the political climate. Don't know much about the political climate or really even the climate. What's the weather? I don't know what the weather. Remember as kids when you would go, your teacher would be like, "Hey, Sam, go check the weather for today." And then the other kids maybe would like sing a song. "What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather today?" Or like something like that. And then he would like run to a window or something. And, be like, "I see the sun." And then the teacher would be like, "Oh, are there clouds out too?" Let me check. "Yeah. All right, well, come here." And then he would remove like a Velcro little thing with the sun, a Velcro thing with clouds. And you did that every day. We don't do that as adults, do we? You're not at your office job and your boss comes out and, pulls a popsicle stick out of a jar. And then somebody, raises up from a cubicle. It's my turn. And then he, there's no windows in the building, so he has to run all the way outside, and everybody kind of just takes a break and waits for 4.5 minutes. And then he comes up and goes, "It's raining." And then he, takes a little Velcro patch. You don't do that as adults, but that would be fun. I wish we would do that as adults. Make things more interesting. Kids have all the fun stuff. like a child's therapist. I've always thought about that because I went to therapy as a kid and as an adult. And children's therapy is so much more fun. I mean, kind of, if you think of that as fun, but it's so colorful. And there's, like little toys and dolls and crayons. And you're just kind of like, learn. I don't know. Like you. So what do you think the teddy bear should say to the moose? The moose broke his leg. And I guess if a child is kind of disturbed, he'd maybe, shh, get up, get your ass up. And then the therapist, okay, but what if we want to be nice? How do you think that would make him feel? You're broken. I'm going to shoot you in the head. Oh no. Yeah, I wonder, I don't think, maybe that would happen. I don't know. But yeah, that's so much more fun than adult therapy. Adult therapy, it feels weird. It feels like you're like renting a friend, kind of. And sometimes it's not even like, I don't know. It's weird. It can be great. Therapy is beautiful, is a wonderful thing and very good for you. And I think, I don't know. It depends. It depends on each person. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get back to the politics. Hey, back to what we came here for. I don't know what that. Is that a duck? That kind of sounds. Hey, follow the breadcrumbs back to the politics. Yeah, I really don't know a lot about politics. I think it would be fun to kind of to go to, like the presidential debates. I don't think they've done any. They still haven't done any, right? I don't think so. Because of Trump's thing. The whole felony thing. Does he have a felony? It said that's crazy. That's crazy that he's running. I don't know. Not that I'm not putting it any, just the fact of being like wanted and running. Nothing political. I'm a receipt. I have no, now, I wouldn't say I'm really politically affiliated with it. I'm a receipt floating through the CVS parking lot, right? Stuck in your windshield. Ow! Torn. Battered from my journeys. I wouldn't say I'm really connected to anything like that, but I would like to go. I think it'd be fun to go to the presidential debates and kind of just ask the questions that nobody else is, right? Stand in the back with sunglasses and a little foam finger. Raise it, right? Who's next? I raise up my foam finger. You go, yeah, you in the back with the foam finger. What's going on? Hi, hey, buddy. Hey, Dan. What's going on, Robbie? I was just wondering, when you were a child, about approximately how many ants did you burn with a magnifying glass? Or have you ever even tried unicycling? I think we'd all like to know. Just really insanity, just ask them crazy things. I think that'd be fun. You don't get enough, I mean, I don't know, kind of nonsense. I guess there's probably a good reason. Questions always have to make sense. But, sometimes it's good to be like, hey, Ryder, if you were a flamingo, would you live in a tree? I've never thought about that. Good question. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. But no, yeah, I want to know more about politics. Sometimes I'll go on Google and I'll just search news because I don't know how else you really, in the paper, I don't know, but I'll just search news and kind of just read what pops up, which is probably a crazy way to do that, but it'll, I don't know. It's always, some news stations are so weird because the way that they'll kind of just mix everything together, so it'll be like, family of 4 tragically pass away in fire. And then the next one will be like, oh, Taylor Swift has a new album. That'll be COVID-19 is back, or something, maybe even something really, really sad. I don't know. Car crash kills 400 people. It's like, how is that even possible? Kanye West is talking about the Jewish people. I don't know. It's just a weird mixture of everything. It doesn't really make sense. And it kind of makes you sad and then happy and sad and happy. It's an emotional roller coaster, right? I'm ready, right? But you're not really ready for that because I guess, when you're reading the news, you want it to be like one thing, happy or sad, maybe. I don't know. That's why it's like daily shows and stuff are fun because sometimes they'll just have like the happy stuff, like Ellen. She just kind of had, people dancing and be like, oh, this, woman adopted this kid and now we're going to have him on and give him $100,000 or I don't know. Yeah, I always wondered, I wonder how they had that much money. I guess there was a really popular show, so that makes sense. But I guess that's reasonable. But what else has been happening? I'm a little stressed. It's tax day. And I procrastinated a lot, put it off. And now it's just really confusing. I don't get any of that stuff. Yeah, I worry that I'm not a very good adult because I get very confused by probably a lot of basic things. Hopefully it gets better. I don't know. It feels weird to be, 23 is an adult, but it's also being 23 is kind of just constantly, telling yourself that things aren't sustainable, right? Being like, we can't only drink vitamin water for 3 days, or like, hey, Rye, you've got to wake up and not eat Doritos right away. That's crazy. Or, really anything. I mean, I've been awake for 2 days. That's not good. That's not good. So yeah, it's a lot of growing pains, I think, of being 23. But I do think I think, said the cat to the tree and the tree to the cat to me. God, I want to write a kid's poem. That'd be fun. A kid's poem book. I've written a few kids' poems. I have this one about a green banana that I think has a lot of potential, but where were we? But no, I think, I've got lost. Maybe I'll share some of the green banana poem. Green banana woke up in green banana's bed. Then green banana fell out and bumped his banana head. Green banana stood up like green bananas do, taking off his nightcap and putting on his shoe. Then green banana walked out of green banana's room, trying to remember all the things he had to do. I don't remember any more than that, but I'm going into a thing. I want him to kind of go on an adventure. I know there's another part of there's yellow pear comes in. And then I think there's like a pink lemon or something of that nature. But that's going to be the thing. I guess pink lemon wouldn't make, I guess green lemon. Lemons are also green, I think. Is this entertaining? All right, relatable. Talk about those plastic, what are those things you put paper into so that when you have a binder and you put a paper that's important, you put it into a special plastic thing. Page protector. Is that it? God, it's hard to say. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Being 23. Yeah. Being 23 is odd. You're just, there's growing pains and you're figuring out who you are as a person, I think. I think, some people, I think, maybe figure out who they are earlier, or they just think they do. But there's very few people that are always what they are, I think. That are always what they end up being. Because I think you grow into who you are and you make so many mistakes and you kind of, it's like a shrinky dink. Those little crafts where you color it and it's like kind of big and then you put it in the oven and it shrinks down and now it's hard and it's shiny and it's what you want. It's kind of like that, life. I don't know what I want though. That's hard. I think I want to be something that exists in terms of identity. I want to probably be something that's real. It's hard. It's hard to know what you want to be, I think. I used to want to, I wanted to be an actor at one point when I was a kid. I wanted to be a realtor for a little bit. Give props to House Hunters. That show. Loved a good House Hunter. Wanted to be a teacher for a while. Being a teacher is such a meaningful job. And I found sometimes it's hard to sustain that, like meaningful jobs. Because when something means a lot to you, your emotions are connected to it. And it can get really sad really quick, I think. I had that when I worked in special ed. I mean, it meant so much to me. But then you realize like, there's so many barriers to this. Of like, there's so many things that I can't do with these kids that I want to do to help them. Like my second year, I worked in a class that was pretty much that was all nonverbal kids with seizures in wheelchairs, and there were so many things that I just wanted. I wanted them to experience life and go outside and like learn, how to feed themselves and like all these different things. But then you have, there's so many restrictions where it's like, oh no, you have to teach them algebra. We really had that. It's crazy, especially in Texas. There's this thing where you have to teach them age appropriate content at their level, which when your students can't speak, right, respond really in any way, except for with stimuli, maybe, or they can move an arm. Maybe if, you put something in their hand, they can pull it away or something. It's hard to teach geometry or aquatic science, and that's also not what we should be doing. We should be teaching them something to increase the quality of their life, Like I spent a semester trying to teach a kid how to put detergent in a washing machine one time. Like that was something we practice often. And there is value in that. There is value in being able to do that, but you've got to climb the ladder of life to get to that one. You know what I mean? Like because this particular kiddo was nonverbal, and he could walk, but it was, we want to let's teach him how to put on his shirt, right? Or like do things like before we teach laundering. Money laundering? No, we didn't. We didn't do that. But yeah, no, you attach so much meaning to something and then it becomes so sad because when you realize that, nothing's really happening. I had that, especially I worked at a high school. First I worked at a high school for special ed. And, I think when they're younger, you do see more growth because that's when, if there's going to be growth, it's going to happen then. a lot of times, or it's going to start at least. But by the time you get to high school, a lot of it's kind of, it's very hard to, I guess, see growth. It's harder because they're, if they're 15 or 16 and they're still not able to feed themselves, or they're still not able to, communicate in any way. And it's not impossible. You can absolutely teach them, but it's just much, much less likely. So that becomes really sad because you're like, oh, well, what am I teaching even? Or am I just here? You know what I mean? Am I just here? Like, kind of keeping, I don't know, keeping an eye out. I guess babysitting is what it felt like more so. But it's so hard, and you've got to, and I appreciate everybody that does it because I know how hard it is to work in special ed. It's so difficult, but it's so worth it too. It's just, you get so attached to it emotionally. Well, that's why comedy is fun too, is because I feel like the fun is kind of infused into it, right? In a way, like the laughter, you want you're making, the goal is to make people laugh and have a good time. And so you kind of, it's infectious. It like bounces off of you. God, I love comedy. It's so fun. What else should we talk about? I went to the strip club last week with a couple friends. I know. Is it weird? I don't know. I think it's fine. I want to experience youth. I don't know. Do I look young? I feel like I look old. Am I kind of geriatric? Is that even how you use that word? I don't know. Maybe I look old when I do that. Hello. Old people sound like squeaky doors, don't they? Just like no words being said. It's that's not fair. Have you ever noticed that when the people that tell you look young are always old? Is that accurate? I feel like that's accurate, Like, oh, you look so young. And it'd be like, I guess comparative, but there's never like a 2-year-old that just comes up and is like, oh my God, you haven't aged a day since 19 or something, That never happens, I feel like. That would be hilarious. So funny. Yeah, I went to the strip club and it was fun. I mean, it was weird. I have been before, but not recently, really. And I just remember looking at the, like kind of walking around was kind of weird too, because it just felt, I guess I kind of felt out of place, but I also I'm bad at staring. Like when I'm uncomfortable, especially, like I'll just kind of stare at people. And that's what you do in a strip club. You're supposed to stare, but it would just be like at the other patrons. I'd just be, hey, we're all doing this. It's a weird thing to be there for because everybody's getting lap dances and stuff too. And you're like, I shouldn't be in the room. I feel weird, like being next to the, I don't know. I mean, I respect it. I mean, I think it's definitely a real job and there's value in it. And, but I don't know. I just felt really weird. Probably won't go back. I just remember looking at the women on the stage, as they were dancing and thinking, if that's, what a woman is, I am not that. I am nothing like, I'm the opposite of what's happening. You know what I mean? Like to see a woman, like move their body in that way. And like, I will never, ever be that. I don't know. I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. Well, that's been the second episode of The Hole in the Pen Cap. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I hope you can come back next week. I'll save you a seat. Save you a seat. And I've been Raya Cameron. Thank you so much. You can follow me on Instagram, Raya_Cameraman. I post my dates there. And I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.